The story goes that when the smoke cleared, the men were no longer on the deck. They were caught inside it, arms, legs, and torsos permanently fused into the solid, cold steel of the ship's bulkheads. For the sailors who weren't physically trapped inside the metal, the outcome was equally grim. Witnesses claimed the survivors were broken by the experience, wandering the deck in a state of sheer, irreversible insanity. The vessel at the center of this nightmare was the USS Eldridge, a destroyer escort built for the U.S. Navy in 1943. These grisly accounts form the foundation of the Philadelphia experiment, an enduring military legend where classified science supposedly crossed a terrifying line. The event is said to have occurred at the Philadelphia Navy Yard during the peak of World War II. The military-industrial complex was operating at maximum capacity, churning out warships under a thick, heavily enforced blanket of wartime secrecy. The legend claims that in an attempt to secure a tactical advantage, the military activated advanced electromagnetic generators. They intended to render the vessel invisible, but triggered a teleportation event instead. This creates a stark division in the historical record. On one side, we have horrific folklore passed down by sailors. On the other, the silent, highly classified archives of the United States Navy. The details we have come almost entirely from alleged eyewitnesses, mostly young, anxious crew members on neighboring merchant ships, who traded frightened gossip about what they saw across the water. They claimed the event started with an eerie, glowing green fog, slowly enveloping the hull of the Eldridge. Then the ship physically vanished from the water, leaving nothing but an empty space in the harbor. Minutes later, a ship matching its exact description was supposedly spotted sitting in a naval base in Norfolk, Virginia, hundreds of miles away, before it instantly rematerialized back in Philadelphia. To understand how a rumor reaches such extremes, we have to look past the supernatural elements and examine the theoretical physics that grounded these claims in reality. The folklore leans heavily on Albert Einstein's unified field theory, a complex mathematical attempt to link gravity and electromagnetism. The rumor mill suggested the military had found a way to weaponize these equations. This diagram illustrates the core concept behind their alleged invisibility cloak, generating powerful electromagnetic fields around the ship with theoretically warp space, forcing incoming light to curve entirely around the hull. As light bypasses the ship, the vessel fades from view, completely undetectable to radar. The story works precisely because it hijacks plausible-sounding theoretical science. It takes a genuine mathematical concept and stretches it just far enough to make an impossible scenario sound achievable. But if we pull back from the rumors and open the official Navy engineering records from 1943, we find out what was actually happening in the shipyards. The Allied fleets were taking heavy casualties from a very real threat, destructive underwater mines and torpedoes designed to detonate the moment they detected the magnetic signature of a steel hull passing overhead. To counter this, the Navy deployed degaussing. Engineers wrapped thick copper cables around the ship's hull, pumping it with electrical current to neutralize the vessel's magnetic field. This allowed the ship to safely glide over mines, making it invisible to magnetic sensors, not human eyes. It is a tragic irony of history. A successful, practical engineering feat that saved thousands of lives was misunderstood by outside observers, slowly mutating through harbor gossip into a tale of teleportation and death. Instead of fading away after World War II, the story escalated during the height of Cold War paranoia. And yet, despite over 80 years of investigations, researchers have never uncovered physical evidence proving teleportation occurred, nor any record of crew members fused into the Eldridge. The legend survives because the mundane truth of running copper cables around a ship cannot compete with the narrative power of a sensational ghost story. The endurance of the Philadelphia experiment reveals a persistent societal anxiety regarding classified military operations hidden from the public eye. It touches on an innate fear of scientific hubris, the concern that human ambition will push technology dangerously past the limits of our own safety. The USS Eldridge remains a gripping military mystery because it sits right on that boundary, forcing us to wonder just how far government science might actually go. Thank you for diving into the void with The Explainer. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an episode.